What's up, guys and gals? My name is Splattercat. We're here at the Nerd Castle with the next episode of our Gnomoria LP, and I'm going to be super straightforward with you guys. I have no idea what I should be working on right now. We got attacked right before the video started by a bunch of just random goblins and things, and as you can see, they actually have an ogre with them, and so in case you were wondering what an ogre looks like, that is him right there. He is laying on the ground, dead as hell, still scowling. I mean, I suppose that goes along with being an ogre. If I was born an ogre, I would understand, because they have lairs. Ogres have lairs, and unfortunately, the only lair that we ever discovered from this ogre was angry, that outermost lair. We didn't pick away at it much, we more slashed away at it with an axe. It was kind of funny during the combat, like one of these little guys right here was hopping around with no arm and no leg, and he was just bleeding everywhere. It's like, God, that is metal, man. But we do have some new legendary weapons. Clobbles, in fact, got himself both a legendary hand axe and a legendary shield. I really like this one because the emergent gameplay that comes out of this one, at least like the thought in my head, is he's got like the lean shield, you know what I mean? And some people would be like, oh, it's lean, like a sandwich, a lean turkey breast sandwich. But I was thinking about it more along the lines as like everybody in the kingdom is so used to seeing him at the front gate, just like leaning on his shield, using it as like a support so that he can relax while he waits for things to happen. It's the leaning shield, the lean shield. I really like that. That's kind of a cool name that goes along with the fact that he's on guard duty all the time. This one, the naming appears to have messed up. I don't know. It's the dutiful hand axe. It seems like a Diablo drop, but it's okay. He got a cool name shield, so you can't win all the time. You can only win some of the time. I think what I need to do first is let's take a look at our stockpiles, and I just kind of want to appraise what I have going on here, because I have no idea what my stocks are looking like. So 42 iron ore, not the greatest. I'd like to have a little bit more. Everything else is looking okay. We do have a bunch of steel bars, so we may start production on some of our steel gear. So let's go ahead and start that first. I'm gonna go down to the armor, and with 8 of those, let's see here, to make a breastplate, we need 4 armor plates. It's 2, so we need 8. And how many did it say we have? I'm sorry, I've already forgotten. I'm terrible at remembering things. Luckily, they're right here near the top, so it's not that bad. We have 31, so we need one more steel bar in order to get it done. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're just gonna queue up 4 of those. And we'll say, oh, we don't have any, we gotta do the armor plates first, so it'll add it to the list, unfortunately. So then we'll go like one of those steel armor plates, and as soon as somebody jumps over here and hammers out that steel, gets it nice and flat, because everybody knows you need a flattened surface to work with whenever you're doing anything. I love the color of the steel in this game, by the way. I like how they make it kind of blue and diamond color. It gives me flashbacks to Minecraft or whatever. And so there it is. Now that we have one, we can actually sit down and do this properly. So we've got steel. We're just going to go 4 steel breastplates, and our guys aren't going to match for a little bit. That will drive the OCD among you crazy, and in fact, it would probably drive me crazy as well, were I not in the... Well, I was going to say, I'm in the cockpit right now, so I'm in control of everything weird that's going on. But anyways, they're almost done with this layer of chiseled marble over here, and we need to put in the first floor eventually. I'm not going to put in the flooring right now because I feel like it's a little bit less interesting than just going through and making sure that I put in the workshops we're going to have right now anyways. And so let's go ahead and get started with that. What I want to do is this first floor is going to be our, I guess we'll make it into our blacksmithing room, I guess. And so let's go to our metal worker, and we're going to say... Let's do an armorer first. We're gonna put in, is this wide enough? Oh, it is, even with a gap. That's great. So what we'll do here is we'll kind of, where's the anvil there? I can't see it based on my, there it is. So that's how I want it lined up, right there. And then on the other side, what we'll go ahead and do is we will put in, where are you, workshop? There we go. I can click things. God, it has been just like the longest weekend ever. I was talking to people this weekend and I was like, I had something to do all day, every day. It was one of those weekends where you just don't get a weekend because it's just really busy. I mean, there's tons of stuff to get done, and it's not necessarily like work stuff, but it's like you had like Mother's Day, you had like my graduation ceremony, and then all the corresponding like meeting up and talking to people that goes along with that. And then the day before that, I had something else going along where I had to drive a couple hours, and it's just like, wow. Long weekend, and right now I'm feeling as though my brain is very bleached. Like I have no idea what I should be working on in any of my video game endeavors. Now the plus side of this, I'm going to do a video log about this tonight. We're going to talk about where the Nerd Castle is going, so I'm not going to spoil it too much. But anyways, I'm at the point right now where I need to start deciding what we're going to be doing here at the Nerd Castle, because the scary thing that we have to contend with is that I am no longer going to college, and so I kind of have to make a decision as to whether I want to pursue YouTube as a potential career, or if I want to just kind of put it on the back burner and move off and start working on geology as a life career. And so it's like one of those things where I can't accomplish both at the same time. I will say that the possibility of playing video games for a living seems a bit more appealing. It does make the 15-year-old inside of me much happier. And so I think I know which direction the entire decision-making process is going to swing. But on the plus side of that, there's also some other decisions that I need to make with regards to the channel, and so we'll talk about those tonight. I think, for now, what I want to do... We've still got iron laying around over here. However... Is that... What is this right here? That's coal. So that's not necessarily what I'm looking for here. I need more iron, for sure. And if that's all the iron they're going to give us, this is a very, very, very bad thing. I think... it would not be a terrible idea. Well, yeah, it would. I was going to say, I need to mine in this... Is that iron right there? No, that's coal. Okay, so... we've got a couple of things that we really need to focus on. I'm going to go down to the next layer. Let's go ahead and dig that. We'll dig some stairs down right here. And we'll start dealing with the next layer of mining. The other thing that I want to do is I think at the 50... what we'll go ahead and do... is we're just going to mine this out right here. And I do agree with your assessments, guys, that we should really kind of sit down and make some little rooms right here that people can kind of crash out in if they need to. So basically like a secondary dormitory right here. And then we'll also leave walls in so that we can get ourselves... Let's, in fact, I'm going to go back and let's cancel some of these jobs. We will cancel this right here, and we'll say, like, oh, that's not what I wanted. I'm clicking the wrong area. That's going to look ugly. It's alright. I can fix this, though. I can fix this, and that's always the big thing you want to be aware of, is, like, can you fix this? And even if it can't, was it a learning experience? Either or. It can go either way. Now, over here, what I need to make sure of is that they're not making an anvil out of something stupid. Because if I come over here and I find out that they made an anvil out of steel, I'm just going to be like, "Ah!" and I'm going to crush somebody's skull with it. I am going to murder a gnome if I find out that they've used our steel to make an anvil, so I would prefer... What's going on over here? Okay, so nothing to worry about right there. Let's see here. Just checking the workflows of everybody involved. Ooh, and there it is. Our first steel breastplate. Let's have a look at this thing. We got a masterfully crafted steel breastplate. That's really, really good. In fact, that's probably going to have, I think it's got, I haven't looked at the grids in a while, but there are Excel grids for what each modifier, so if you masterfully craft something, it's way better for you than something that you poorly craft. It's got like a +5 or like a +8 or something like that. But anyways, let's go back down to the bottom floor, and this is going to be our project of the day if we can get it moving. I do think that a lot of my miners are probably working right now on the first floor, trying to get some of these blocks done for this big building over here. But I would know, they're done actually. Okay, so I didn't leave anything queued up over here, did I? Let's find out now. So we got the marble blocks that are being worked on, and I think I put those at a 6 though. So yeah, I moved the priority up so that they would only work on those when they're absolutely idle and doing other stuff. Another thing that they added in a recent patch, in fact, I think the developer just had a baby, so congratulations to him. He has himself a new little bundle of joy, which is why the updates haven't been coming out lately, and I honestly, if you want to ask me about it, I think that there's no better reason to not be updating your game. Definitely time to spend a little bit of the old TikTok with the family if you got a baby that just arrived down the pipe. The proverbial, I don't know, that sounds weird, but anyways, on our diplomacy menu, what they've added is we can actually insult the Goblin Kingdom now. We can like flip them off and send them messages and be like, you guys are bitches, go die, and then like walk away into the distance like flashing our colors everywhere, which I don't think we ever decided on, but we got bandanas with colors, and so we like to go right outside the Goblin Kingdom, and then we do like this little dance up on the corner because there's a street corner at the edge of the kingdoms. Like they just installed it there. It's like a grass field, but there's this very obvious V-shaped street corner just sitting right there, and you go to that street corner. It's like the street corner of Tom. Like we have one outside ours. You can't see it, but if you go back out to the first layer, it's like right over here, so we can see it. Basically, it's off the map, but there's a street corner right over here. It's got like a street lamp and everything. It turns on and off. Nobody knows how it works. It's like magical. Well, they've got one next to their kingdom as well, and so we go over there and we just dance on the corner and we flash our bandanas, and then they know that like we keep it real and they don't want to roll out on Nompton. And so far, they're trying to bring in the big guns now. They got the bruisers. They brought in ogres, which is never a good sign for you. But for us, it's not so bad because, frankly, we've got the gear to handle ogres. The thing about ogres is I always found the ogres to be a little bit underwhelming with regards to their statistics, based on the fact that the ogres don't really bring weapons for a long time. So even if you get ogres fairly early on in the game, it's basically just a guy that's trying to punch you to death. And if you've got armor and a shield, punching is not very effective in this game regardless of how strong you are. It takes a really, really long time to break armor with your fists. And so I think if they sent the ogres with a little bit scarier of weapon... Tell me that's not iron. Okay, it's coal. I was gonna say, if that's iron right now, I'm gonna be like, welp. It could be here. I mean, the minus 50 could have iron. You never know. Anyways, God, look at him work on that thing. Just destroying that cavern wall. Just getting in there. And so what I want to do is I want to designate this as a dormitory for people that are deep down. And so we'll designate that. And then what we'll call this as well is we'll say that this is designated as a... designate area. There we go. Stockpile. What we want to do here is we will say that this is for the foodles. And we'll say that this is for the drinks. And so this will give them kind of a stop-off point at the minus 50. A little bit of a truck stop, if you will, where they can jump up in here and they can actually take care of a few of their needs. So we don't have to worry about, I don't think anyways, anybody on the first floor coming down here. That would be slightly embarrassing. But what we can do, let's put in some beds down here as well. We'll go like, I think I have 5 miners. So I don't think, oh, I spaced that one wrong. That's going to drive me crazy. So no, go away, ghostly bed. The bed's like, ooh, okay. Anyways, we're going to, there we go, we'll go back to beds. And that should be enough for now. We'll also put in torches to make sure that the places that we're sleeping don't turn into unholy hell gates that spawn enemies on top of us. And so we'll put in torches like there, 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 and there. Oh, nope, not there. That's terrible. We don't want that there. No, that's not acceptable. Not acceptable. Hand of clicking. Oh good, we already have the torches pre-made too. Even better. I love it when I don't have to wait for torches to get made. Because you will make a lot of torches in this game. That will probably be the most crafted item you ever make. And so over here, I'll probably just drop these along the edges. And at some point, we should have a hauler who comes down here. Is it just me, or does that look different than it did before? The emerald wall looks way different. It's got like a blobby thing right there. It used to just be a bunch of stringers, and now it's got like a blobomication thing going on. I don't know what to call it. It's got like this lumpy texture thing going on. Very, very weird. Over here, what is that? Malachite? Oh, that might be worth going after too, just so we can make some better jewelry. That might be a cat worth chasing, I think. But let's be honest, what cat isn't worth chasing? That's like what being a cat owner is like. It's chasing an animal and trying to force it to love you when really it only is kind of using you at any given moment. It's like, well, I need food, so I'm going to be friendly for a couple hours. Oh, I've been fed? Alright, well, I'm going to be a dick for the remainder of the day. Later! It's like, oh, kitty, I hate you so much, but I love you so much. Why, kitty? Why do you do these things to me? Although in my experience, I think like I've had a bunch of male cats and I've had a bunch of female cats, and the female cats tend to be the ones that are very, very like independent and just don't give a damn. And the male cats, as long as you like get them neutered nice and early on, they actually are super cuddly by comparison. People always talk about male cats spraying, but I've had loads of male cats and none of them have ever sprayed anything. It's always the female cats that are always peeing on everything, that develop the habit anyways. But yeah, the females tend to be a lot more independent personality, whereas the males just tend to be like cuddle buddies. They never go away. It's like, you know what, it is 4 in the morning, you're going to wake up right now, and you were going to... I woke up the other day, I don't know if I've told this story, but I woke up the other day and my cat was just laying with his paw in my mouth. Apparently I decided to fall asleep with my mouth open, and I woke up and I was like... Like something was very, very wrong. There was definitely a furry mass in my mouth, and I was like, this isn't right, what the hell? And you're like half asleep. And I open my eyes, and my cat is just laying there on my pillow with his foot dangling in my mouth like a little foot bath. And I was like, oh God. Because I know where that paw's been. I've seen what he does with that paw. It was a bad experience. A very, very bad experience. The underlying fact that you could probably go along with right here is that my cat he's an asshole. I mean, that much is for sure. My cat is a total douchebag sometimes. But anyways, God... But anyways has become my new phrase. I know people keep pointing it out to me and I really need to stop doing it. But it's happened. If you go back through my old videos, I come up with a new phrase to transition in between mental thoughts at least once a month. And then I use it to death until somebody points it out, and then I switch to a new one. It's one of those, like, underlying habits that just happens whenever you work in broadcasting or any type of monologuing. I used to do it when I worked on the radio too. I would have these go-to phrases that I would use all the time. Although there it works a little bit better as a catchphrase, whereas saying "but anyways" every 5 minutes I think is more of an annoyance to most people. I think I'm just gonna like have them mash this bad boy out, and then we'll just like install torches as needed. I don't think we're actually going to hit any metal down here, but we can try. I don't want that, because that's going to cause problems for me. So we'll do this right here. And that should be enough of a workload for now, I think. I'm going to go ahead and we'll start off the first layer of torches. And I know you guys keep telling me to do that hotkey, but I don't know. I keep forgetting. That's basically, I could try and make up an excuse and be like, well, you know, it was hard to find in the keybinds, and I was sitting around like all day. But no, it's just I keep forgetting. That's pretty much 100% the reason why. Oh, good, 3 of the breastplates are done. Badass. So which ones are masterfully crafted? Let's pause the game here for a minute. A poorly crafted on him. Okay. Luckily, the variance between them I don't think is too large. So Muscle Butts has the masterfully crafted one. And okay, so Muscle Butts did the crafting. So anyways, I'm wrong here. Let's go ahead and Clobbles has a finely, Cuddlesworth has a masterfully, and Smash Nasty has a poorly. That's perfectly fine, actually. That's a really good round of rolls, especially since we don't have anybody who's being like a dedicated blacksmith right now. I haven't done any of the management things that I would typically do probably in the next year or so. I mean, we've been playing the game for a while. I usually don't assign jobs because you don't need to. Like, yeah, you can increase your efficiency a lot of the way through the game, but it's not, for example, like running, I don't know, like Dwarf Fortress, for example, where I very specifically assign people to do like this thing and this thing and this thing. Dwarf Fortress, I almost always 100% have people assigned by maybe, if I did I'm going to use this spatially by talking about it in terms of an LP, but by the 4th episode, I would probably have loads of people assigned to very specific jobs in Dwarf Fortress. Whereas here, you don't really need to. Like, you can multi-class people out in this game, and it should work out okay for you in most respects. Every once in a while, you'll hit a bottleneck, and you'll wish that you had spent more time setting something up a bit more carefully. But bottlenecks are cool because beer comes out of them, so I don't mind them that much. Oh, I got tired first. Did our -50 dormitory get built yet? Oh, good, and it's working out just the way we had planned. There it is right there. Although, I may have to make some kind of junction in which they can go from over here to over here. So this might be the time to build the bridge, I think. Let's go ahead and get that done. We're going to make a bridge to nowhere, basically. Just like a little connecting bridge right here. It's going to be kind of like an overpass almost, where it's going to go across this region right here. We need to make very sure that when we build this... Actually, there's a safe way to do this and there's an unsafe way. I'm going to try and do the safe way, because I love supermarkets. We have Safeways still. It's Albertsons that got shut down in the United States. We used to have this place called Albertsons, and I used to go there because their company color was blue, and that seems like a fickle reason to go with the company, although alternatively I don't go to Walmart, so I don't know if that's maybe the rationale. But as I was saying, their color was blue, and it made me happy. I don't know why shopping for groceries at a place where everything was blue made me happy, but that was a legitimate aesthetic decision that I made. I would always go there because the inside of the store was this lovely blue color, and I just liked shopping in the basking glow of fluorescent lighting and blue. Whereas all the other places like these weird brown colors and orange colors from like the 70s because they never got renovated, and I don't like it. I don't like it, but Albertsons got shut down. We don't have those anymore. I think the best way to do this is I'm actually going to make a connector right there. There we go. A monitor lizard. I don't care. Hopefully he's just like monitoring the situation. I'm not even going to mess with him. And then we need to go down to here. I really need to keep my attention on this for the next like 5 minutes of the LP, since that's what we're trying to get done. Let me make sure it's going to be on the 52 that this occurs. I should probably do it on the 50, but we'll go with the 52 for now. That'll get people close enough. And then what we need to do is we need to destroy this ramp. And this is going to be sketch. This is going to be really, really sketchy. Bad things could happen the moment I do this, and so we are kind of risking our civilization right now to a zombie apocalypse. But I think the benefits will... Honestly, the game has gone off... I mean, the Gnomoria LP has gone long enough at this point to where if I got destroyed, I wouldn't really mind. I'd be like, yay, we can move on to a new series. So I think anytime I get into that mindset when I'm playing a game, it's just like, okay. I think I would also like to destroy these ramps right here on the next floor down. I want that one gone. I want that one gone. And let me do a quick rotation here. There's no ramps on that side, so we should be okay there. Okay, and so we're alright. I always get disoriented, and there's something about popping around by 90-degree angles in an environment that is 3D rendered but only slightly 3D rendered that always throws me off. Have no idea what it is, but it definitely throws me off. And what we're going to do here is I'm actually going to have this be kind of a closed hallway. It's going to be a little bit like those tubes you use to get into like subway entrances or into... Oh good, he's going to come from that direction. Alright, whatever's quicker, I don't really care. You can build it from both directions, you can build it from one direction, whatever floats your boat, amigo. I don't think I'm rotated properly right now. There we go. Now I'm rotated properly. They are coming from the right direction. I knew they would come from the right direction because I think the game keeps track of what gets queued first. I don't think that it wouldn't do that. Let's go ahead and drop in some torches around here, make sure we don't get invaded. Because getting invaded, while it sounds very, very childish and not that scary, getting invaded is actually terrible. I mean, any word that ends in old, like dulled, I think, like cuddled, that's a great word. It starts with, or it ends with dulled, and so, you know, there's a lot of words out there like clottled and things like that. Swaddled, it has the, it's, you do it to babies, and babies are the most unthreatening thing that there are in the entire universe, aside from maybe like, well, I was gonna say snails, but there are those snails down at the bottom of the ocean that like burrow into your wrists and like eat you and destroy you or something. Let's see here. We want to build a floor, and it can be of anything really. It doesn't totally and completely matter. But what we want is for it to go like that, and then what we'll do is we'll put a wall on top of it. And I'm really, really hoping this gets done quickly because the longer we leave this open, so they can't make the jump right now. But the second we open this up, they will be able to. So right now we're isolated and we can't be destroyed. But if he opens this up right here, we will be. And so actually it kind of begs the question, why wouldn't I just do that to keep myself safe until future notice? Okay, and so he can... Oh, there's a ramp right there. Well, damn. Alright, well, put in the floors and let's hope for the best here. I'm going to continue putting in torches. There it is. And so as the torches are placed, what we want to do now is we will build a wall. Hey, stop that. There we go. And so we want a wall right here. We're going to call it a, I don't know, any stone wall. Doesn't matter to me. Do whatever the hell you want, little gnomes. You're pretty good at it anyways. And so we'll build walls like so. So as to keep terrible things from happening. And then we also need to remove the ramps from here. So those two ramps need to go. And this should be a job that gets done pretty quickly. So, my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me in the Nerd Castle. I'm going to play until this gets done in between episodes. But, alternatively, if anything crazy happens like a zombie invasion, I'll try and hit my record key real fast and start an episode. Luckily, the game has active pause, so it's nothing that you really have to worry about. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here in Nompton for another episode of Gnomoria. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I do think that this series is slowly coming to a close. I am interested in doing the every now and again episodes. Like, I don't know, maybe once every weekend or so I'll drop kind of an update and show you what my map is looking like until we basically run out of space or whatever. But I do feel like this game is coming to a close. I'll try and get like an ogre battle coming in, but after that there's not really going to be anything else new occurring, and so that leaves us in a good spot where there are no new threats coming down the pipe. I could try and find, a zombie invasion or something to show you guys, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Take care out there, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.